Eliminate stress and overwhelm. First of all, imagine how nice that would be. Stress is at a pace that you can manage and overwhelm is non-existent. So how do you achieve that state? First of all, stress, there's actually two kinds. So stress in general gets a bad rap. The first kind, which is the negative kind that normally is associated with stress, is distress. Now the second kind, which is a positive kind of stress, is called eustress. Now the distress occurs when there's a gap between where you are and where you want to be, and it doesn't look solvable, or at least you don't believe it is. Eustress occurs when there's a gap between where you are and where you want to be, but you believe that if you take action, you can actually get to where you want to be and close that gap. And that's what motivation is, really. It's a form of eustress. Now, overwhelm is a form of distress. There's too much going on. I can't get out of this. It's overwhelming. It's sort of, everything is magnified and up close. Now, one way that you eliminate stress that we talked about before is you actually zoom out with your perspective. And one of the ways we talked about doing that is to consider the temporariness of life, to partner with your breath, to do whatever you can to sort of take a step back and zoom out and see things from a more universal perspective. Now, one way that you can increase eustress is to amplify where you want to be and start claiming small victories along the way instead of, believing that in order to experience the joy and the fulfillment of achievement, you actually have to wait until you get there sometime down the road. So how do you claim those small victories? Well, you set up milestone victories that you can achieve, that are very clear, and that you'll reward yourself with as you hit them. And you set up a lot of them. You set up daily milestones. You set up weekly milestones. You set up monthly milestones, depending on how far out that goal is. And then once you hit them, man, you celebrate it, and you have some plan in mind for how you're going to celebrate those victories. And as you go through this process, zooming out when you feel the distress, sort of letting overwhelm settle, and then zooming in to perform your actions that are motivating and hitting your milestones that allow you to claim that small victory and begin to believe that that ultimate goal is possible, you will begin to notice that overwhelm does die down, eustress increases, and distress decreases. For more tips on how to live your full potential, visit fullpotential.com.